Hi, everybody. I am so excited to introduce you to somebody today. Her name is Cheryl, and Cheryl is going to blow your mind when you hear us talk today. She is going to be sharing her story and sharing with you what she has been doing for the last 2.5 months. And you are just going to be blown away at her. She is amazing. And I'm so excited to introduce you to her. Hi, Cheryl.
Hi, Terry. How are you?
I am so good, girl. I just sometimes I get like a little bit verklempt when I'm even talking about you because your results that you've gotten in just 2.5 months have blown my mind. Are you kind of blown away too a little bit
Oh,
at this?
it's undescribable how blown away I am. Never in my wildest dreams would I have imagined I'd be where I am today.
I'm actually it's amazing. So let's just share your results here. So let's give a little backstory. First of all, you heard about the academy. You were in this free group where these ladies are, right? You heard about the academy in there. And
Yes.
tell us where your head was at before you decided you were going to join. Like, were you kind of skeptical? Were you like, I should do this, but I don't know if I should? Or what? Tell us where your head was at.
Oh, my head was up in the clouds. I stumbled across your program just by accident, and I thought, well, I've tried everything else. I've poured tons of money into other programs, other ways to try to help me lose weight, and I thought, what do I have to lose? This program is free, and I may as well give it a chance. So I watched all the programs, and the more I watched, the more convinced I was to go ahead and try this because what could I lose?
Yeah.
And I think the final push that sent me over the edge is hearing the story of one of the ladies here in the group. April Holman is the one that just did it. It was just if I had any doubts before that, I didn't after I heard her and saw her story. So I jumped in and decided to try it. But I also want to tell you that the same day that your program started, the one I'm in now, I got a call from my uh, practitioner, and she had told me that she was not happy with my blood levels and that she was immediately erasing my metformin again. And I said, "That's it,
Yeah,
my
so let's talk
decision."
about that. Let's talk about that. So when you, by the way, just to go back to you said April Holman was the one that kind of convinced you to join. Uh, your results are almost I mean, equally as good as April's. Can you believe that? I mean, can you believe you're like the next the next testimony that one of these other ladies are going to hear and they're going to be like, I want to be just like Cheryl because your results are amazing. And I can't even wait to share them with everybody. But can you believe that you're that girl now?
Yes and no.
Yeah. So let's talk about tell us how you were feeling. We'll get to the meds here in a second about the call with your
Okay.
practitioner, but tell us how are you physically feeling?
Now,
No, before, like when you
oh,
before you
before,
started, like yeah.
um, very tired, very frustrated because my stomach hurt all the time. I had gas and bloating and diarrhea. I'd no sooner finish a meal and I'd be off to the restroom. Uh, I didn't have hardly any energy at all. I would take numerous naps. I'd get up, do some usual things around the house, and then take my shower, and I'd go back to bed.
So you were pretty much kind of living, you're kind of a slave to your own house, basically, right? You weren't feeling good. You were on
No.
10 medications.
Yes.
And I mean, 10 medications, obviously, when you have that much medication in your body, you're not going to feel very good. So you were diagnosed as a type 2 diabetic.
Yes.
Your blood sugars were in the high 100s
Yes.
and
One
getting
six.
worse.
Yes.
And you were on, and they kept telling you you needed to take medications to keep your blood sugars lower, but they weren't lowering. Then you got a
No.
call from your practitioner saying they weren't happy with your numbers, so they were going to up your metformin again.
Yep.
And when you joined the academy, you were on 2,500 milligrams of metformin.
Yes, I was.
No wonder why your stomach was a mess, right?
Plus glipizide.
Right. Yeah, 10 medications. So let's talk about that. But before we do, I want to show a screenshot and I want to show the ladies here what you have done in just, you guys, you got to remember, this is only in 2.5 months. 2.5 months, because she started September 1st. And it's not even the end of November yet when we're doing this interview. But by the time you see it, it'll be 3 months. But okay, so she's lost 30 pounds, 30 inches. She's off 8. You guys, she was on 10 medications. You heard her say this when she started. 10 medications in 2.5 months. She's now only on 2. And her blood sugars when she started were in the 190s, 160s, 70s, 80s, 90s. Now they're averaging, based on kind of what we're doing here, between 75 and 115. Unbelievable, Cheryl. Unbelievable. And do you know something? I went back to your intake forms, and do you know that you wrote your top 3 goals were to lose weight, to reverse your diabetes, and reduce meds? And you said you wanted to reduce 2 medications in 6 months. That's what you said on your intake form. You're like, I just want to get at least reduce 2 medications in 6 months. Now you're off of 8 in 2.
Exactly.
I mean, are you, when you see that, Cheryl, aren't you just like, is this really real?
Well, I know it's really real because the stack of full bottles are piling up and I have to find some place to get rid of them.
And so just share with the girls, how you feel now. And are you kind of blown away at how fast you started to feel different? So tell how you feeling now to this day after you're off these 8 medications, you're down 30 pounds. You said when you started, you were having all this, gas and bloating and stomach issues, and you were so fatigued. You even shared that you were so upset because you couldn't spend time with your grandchildren. So talk about how you're feeling now.
I feel as if a 30-pound weight has been lifted off my shoulders, which it has. I have more energy. I do try to take a nap every once in a while, but I just relax. I'd rather be up doing something because I can now. I feel I can go places and not have to worry about where the nearest restroom is or to enjoy a peaceful lunch. It's wonderful. It's wonderful.
And I've had the thrill to be able to see your progress when you first started,
Yes.
you were, and I think you'll be okay with me sharing this, hope so. But when you first started, you were very down because you didn't feel good. I mean, you just didn't feel good. When you show up in the calls, you didn't look happy. You were just not feeling good. When you're on 10 medications and you're, heavier weight and you're just not feeling good, so you'd show up on the calls and you were kind of like, I could tell you weren't feeling good and you were very skeptical.
Oh, yes.
You were, the first couple weeks, I remember you were like, I would say stuff like, Cheryl, this is what we're going to do. And this is where I think it's going to go. And you'd be like, okay. This is your common answer. You'd be like, okay, I hope so. And I'm like, Cheryl.
Yep, you did. I remember our first meeting and I cried because I'm like, she's trying to tell me it's going to work. And I've been through so many other things before and it never had. And I remember choking up and crying. And now I look back and say, wow, best thing I've ever done. Best program, best protocol, and the best help and support, because I know I can't do it without that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's
the one thing I do want to say is that I don't want to misperceive, to the girls watching here in this group. I don't want them to think that this is just super easy. I mean, you have to do the work. But I always say this so many times, you guys, I sound like a broken record, but this is challenging work. It's hard to reverse your diabetes. It's hard to lose weight. It's hard, but we got to pick our hard. Was it harder being on 10 medications and feeling sick and depressed and not being able to play with your grandchildren? I mean, that's harder.
Yes.
Right?
Yes, very much so.
So why not do the hard work to get to the point now where you can enjoy the efforts that you put in to
Mhm.
get to where you are now. I mean, look at you. You're smiling, you're happy, you're 30 pounds, lighter, you're down sizes, you're off 8 medications, which we're going to get you
Yes,
off, another 1 or 2 here probably very soon. But, amazing job, girl. And you did this. You did the work.
I
You're the
know.
one that did this.
I'm the kind of a
Despite
person.
despite feeling uncomfortable and scared, you still did it.
Yes. Yes, I did. And I'm the kind of a person that will take up a challenge. And this was a challenge and it was hard. And there were times when I really wanted to say, forget it. But then I remembered where I was
Mhm.
and where I want to be. I still have work to do. I still have work to do.
Right, and that's the other thing that we do in the academy, we teach in the academy that this is not a quick fix. This is about healing your body, learning how to do that, and being able to maintain and stay on the course. Because this is where, like you said at the beginning of your interview, you said, how is this program going to be any different than any other program when they don't work and it doesn't last. That is not what we do in the academy. We want it to stick and stay. And I always promise all you ladies, if you do the work and you stay doing the work and you stay committed to yourself and you honor yourself and you honor your decision, you're going to get to the goal.
Hmm.
Do you believe that?
I do now. I really do now. And I would recommend this for anyone who's on the fence. Jump it and get over and get in. It helps.
Girl, I'm so proud of you because I know how, I remember day one when you started. You were, I just, and just seeing how you've changed and blossomed and gotten healthier and you've worked hard.
I have, but I don't regret one bit.
So
One bit.
would you mind sharing with the girls one last question? If you could talk to one of the girls in here in the group who they're on the fence, right? And they're
Mhm.
scared and they're like, I don't know if this is going to work for me. What would you tell them?
I am one of the biggest. I should have been born in the show me state because I have to be shown that things are going to work. I like to take things apart. I like to put things together as far as data goes. And believe me, it's there. The data is there. I would do it again in a heartbeat. I believe in this program so much that I think you should. If you have any qualms, get in here and do it. Just give it all you got because it's worth it.
And you are living proof of the amazing results that you can get in a short period of time. I
Yes.
mean, looking back 3 months ago, I mean, looking back, would you ever want to be in that place again? Right?
No, not
It's
ever.
it's
Not
just,
ever.
and you're going to continue to get better and better. And I am so proud of you. Thank you for sharing your story because I promise you there's going to be some woman that watches you and they're going to be like April was to you and they're going to be impacted by your testimony and they're going to be like, "Oh my gosh, if Cheryl can do it, why can't I do it?"
Oh, yes.
So thank
Yes,
you,
and
honey, for
I hope there are people that need to talk to me or would like to talk to me because I cannot say anything bad about this at all.
you're amazing. Thanks for
Thank you.
sharing your story.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.